To work. Go on.
Hey everybody, Gears here, and this is a look at Red 2 1 year on. Well, obviously this isn't Red 2, but it is a panel off of the front hood, or the bonnet as it is known in some parts of the world. My wife and I had been at an astronomy party the other week, and we decided to kick back on the hood and look at the stars, and the flexing of the metal underneath cracked this one loose, number 208. So I decided to pry it off completely and reapply it brand new. In doing so, I kind of ripped a little bit there. See the corner edge here, there's a little rip in the plastic. And that had me wondering, how has the plastic held up for 1 year in the California sun? And overall, it's pretty good. It's still got some really good flexibility to it. I don't want to bend it too much because it will snap. The reason for that is not because it's disintegrated somewhat in the ultraviolet from all the sun going on, but because there's a lot of JB weld on the back here, and this dark sections, the blue, is actually the original color of my car. So there's the blue, the white there is from the previous paint job, then the JB weld on that, and then the plastic itself. Early on in the process of applying all the styrene sheet to the car, well, later on in the process, I had actually started scraping up the back with a knife to help give the surface some tooth for holding on. And this is clearly one of the early panels where I hadn't started doing that yet, which probably also, or may have also, contributed to the reason why that it snapped off so relatively easy. In the year, this is probably about panel number 7 or 8 that's come loose or I've pried off intentionally. One fell off completely all by itself when I blasted it off at the car wash. That was my fault. Several others have been loose enough around the corners that I decided to take them off completely. And when this one pried up on this edge here the other day, I figured why not pull it off and go from there. I actually pulled up an adjoining one as well while I was at it, but that one is mending on the car right now. While this one, I just put a little spray on here to help hide a crack from when I ripped it off. It's almost visible right along there. And actually, let's dirty this up a little here. Yeah, there we go. Now it's looking good. But I'll still leave that up here for now. So let's go take a look at the car. There's not going to be too much obvious that's going on. A lot of these smaller panels, I don't know if I did a video about these, but I had glued those on with super glue, and the other day I had realized that super glue isn't going to be the strongest or best option there. So I took this one off, used JB weld to put it back down, and in doing so I ripped up that corner. I decided not to put that corner piece back on because it looks good enough. So I may not have to JB weld the styrene, because styrene on styrene with super glue usually works pretty well, and these edges seem pretty nice. However, this piece here is actually aluminum from our full-scale R2-D2, and these pieces are much easier to pry off. So those, and if they fly around, they're going to cause more damage than a little piece of plastic to anyone following close to me. Oh, see, this one's coming off just a little. There we go. So that's super glue, which means I'll be pulling all these little squares off at some point and putting them back on. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is actually repainting at least the aft end of the car. These stripes are much too big. So, and it's the same mistake, oddly enough, that I made on the first paint job of this car, was the red emblem started there and the stripes went there. However, what I'm going to be doing is making this edge the start of the red patch. It'll end right above the wheel well. The stripe will come up somewhere around here, and then 2 stripes right about there. I've added a few small pieces. This is a phone battery that got JB welded on. I'll show you the inside in a little while on a different note. And here's the other panel that popped off. So this has been sitting for a full 24 hours, so it's ready to come back up. Or rather, the magnets are ready to come up. There we go. So that panel should go down there nice and easy. Another piece of aluminum from R2, aluminum, styrene, aluminum, and so on across the body. Aluminum, styrene, that might be aluminum. I think that's aluminum. It's really tough to tell. Styrene, styrene, a couple styrene over there. It really adds a lot of great dimensionality to it. And the X-Wing is, of course, covered with small panels like these. This is unfortunate right now. The original blue here is a robin's egg. This one's called Tranquil something or other. They looked close enough. This looked close enough. Got it from the same store. They just don't carry the robin's egg right now. So I had to go with that. And I don't know if I like that color better than this color or what. This is definitely much greener. However, this one is much more of a genuine baby blue. And of course, when I got this originally, I thought this was a pretty good baby blue, but obviously this one's a little, maybe better, maybe not. Again, aluminum piece from a full-scale R2-D2. And obviously what I've done here is the aluminum there is the base color, then some white, some browns for rust, and then sanding it down a lot. But the very biggest change is probably on the inside of the car. Just adding a lot of little things to the doors, for example. Like this here is the lifter from the trunk. It had gone bad. So it's held on with magnets originally, several here and then a pile of them here, and then I put JB Weld on yesterday. So I'm going to keep building that up because I don't have an armrest in the car, and this is a very nice option instead. Over here in the back, a lot more hoses recently. This guy, an old motor, whatever that is. Oh, I didn't do that one down yet. External hard drive case. Radiator off a CPU from a computer. And so on. As I said, a lot more hoses everywhere. The scope off a Han Solo Kenner toy. Oh, maybe not as much new as I had thought. Always just a little work here and there, now and then, to keep things moving along. And a couple future pieces, another piece off the back of a computer case. This is the, I forget what these call these, but that's also off a computer. I don't know if this is too familiar as a computer piece or not. It may be obvious, it may not be. We'll see if I put it on or not. Nice little cap from a soda bottle. That's going to look good. But I guess that's mainly it for now. Let's put these magnets away. Always lots of little things to do. What have I done back here? A lot more hoses, obviously. I don't think haven't glued that guy in yet. Yeah, a few more R2-D2 panels. These are actually some guys out of the, there used to be a hood cover, or an engine cover under the hood. So I pulled these guys out, and I think that's going to look nice somewhere like that. Something like that. Little raised surface, could be good. JB welded on, of course. And yeah. I gotta find a place to connect this hose. Still haven't quite figured out where that one's gonna go yet, so it keeps flopping around any way it likes. Oh, and I can pull this off. Again, another plastic piece from the engine cover that used to be under the hood. They look really nice. I don't think I've added anything up here recently. File. I'll get this car over to a friend's house where it's a lot quieter, no traffic going on, and I'll be able to think while I'm talking at least. So, look for that update coming soon, the 1-year anniversary of Red 2. Thanks for watching. See ya.